Okay, so I am choosing to create a campaign for, let's just say, Medicare people or people who are about to be on Medicare. And it's a traffic campaign, again, pushing traffic from Facebook to a specific landing page. So to create this audience, we are going to be on the ad sets tab. All right. Now we could have hundreds of ad sets here under one campaign. So we can have many campaigns going and we can have many ad sets under the respective campaigns. So Medicare, and we want to target people who are turning 65. Now we could create another campaign for people who already have Medicare, but just stick with me on this one. So this is a traffic sorry, I had to relabel that from lead gen to traffic. And so this is an ad set. We're going to start up here at the top. And by default, this is going to be website. You're going to come down, skip this creative ad thing. I don't want you guys to get confused with anything. You're not going to be doing any offers, like any discounts or anything for this particular campaign or ad group. So we're creating the campaign before we show an ad. We'll create the ad later. All right. So start date, if you want to start it in the future, you can. If you want to create an end date, let's say if you're doing, I don't know, a Valentine's special or something, you want to end on Valentine's, not just keep it going. Okay. Sometimes Facebook will default to the minimum amount for this particular campaign. It's $20 a day. Doesn't mean that you're going to spend, it does not mean that you're going to spend $20 a day. That's up to. So many times I don't hit it. I go kind of conservative. Okay, so custom audiences. You'll hear people talk about lookalike audiences and custom audiences, uploading batch emails and showing Facebook ads to people to like an email list. Don't worry about this. Skip that for now. Now, let's say you want to pick a state. You're licensed, let's say in Florida. This is where you're going to be doing your targeting. You want your ads only to show in Florida. For those of you who only want to show an ad in a particular radius, this is where you would also set it. So now instead of showing all over the United States, it's just going to show in Florida. And let's say these people, you only want to show the ad to people who are 64 years old and they're about to turn 65. Right. Again, right now, we're creating the audience. This most likely won't be relevant to you or to your audience, but you have to understand the logic behind it. Okay. We can target men or women or both men and women. You could target people in different languages. Now, if you speak another language, let's say Spanish, you have to do this in Spanish because there is no competition. Hispanics are the underserved market. Marketers like me aren't, targeting Hispanics. The cost per click is just going to be way cheaper. Next person you hire, make sure it's a Spanish speaker, or that person is a Spanish speaker. Okay, so now we're going to do something called demographics. This is where the power of Facebook comes in. You can see three things here: demographics, interests, and behaviors. Okay, so demographics, you start targeting people based off of their education, their financial status, how much their net worth is, their income is, their net worth, what type of home they live in, if they're a first-time home buyer, if they're renters. So think about your audience here, all right? People, so look at this one, new parents, all right? People who are, this is for Medicare, so obviously this is not going to be for you for this particular campaign. But if you want to target people who are new parents, Facebook knows. Okay, life events. For this one, we are going to turn to people who are going to turn 65 in a couple months, 2 to 3 months out. So September. And the reason I'm choosing September is because they get them. They're getting, these people who are in Medicare are getting snail mail and before they can actually collect. So birthday, and then in September and October. This part here, oh, damn, I almost forgot a step. We don't want to target everyone in this location. We want to target people who live in this location. All right? We don't want people just going through or who are passing through. Automatic placements. Facebook obviously wants you to do automatic placements. I recommend just taking some of these out. Most people who are in their 60s don't have Instagram, but you can leave it in there. Some do. Over time, a lot of these people are going to have Instagram. You can leave it there, or you can take it out. Okay. So, mobile devices, you could target people based off of Android, iPhones. You can also target people when they are connected to Wi-Fi. What does this mean? Most likely, if they're connected to a Wi-Fi, they're at home instead of in the line at Starbucks, where they're probably not going to make a phone call. Sometimes I test it with Wi-Fi, with this selected, and sometimes without it. So then we come down to this part here, link clicks. Now, with link clicks, this is where you get charged. Facebook has this option where you only get charged if people click the link. There's also an option here for impressions where you get charged whether or not someone clicks your ad, and it's based off of 1,000 impressions. So the bid strategy here, by the way, for a traffic campaign, I most likely use link clicks. You can set the cost, the lowest cost per link click, they'll call it. Facebook normally starts this off at $2. Now, this is going to determine where your ad appears in people's news feeds. The higher the bid here, the more likely you're going to be the number one position, but you do not have to be the number one position all the time. When people scroll through, you could be position number the third or fourth ad, the fifth ad. It doesn't matter as long as people, especially in this one, because you only get charged if people click on your ad. All right, so when you have a good campaign, even if you start off at $2 a click, $2.50 or whatever, you can. Over time, Facebook is going to start rewarding you, and the cost per link click is not going to be $2.50. It's maybe like $2 and down to $1.50, down to 75 cents if you have a great performing ad, down to 50 cents. Okay, when do you get charged? We want to get charged on a link click. Okay, so leave this. Most likely you're going to have your settings like this. You can change them if you want, but this is the type of settings that I have on mine. You can have an accelerated budget where you spend your money as fast as you can. Facebook, I like to spread it out, throughout the day, so the budget lasts a little longer than being spent in just a couple of hours. Okay, so that's the first audience here. Let's review this really quick. And this is a Medicare traffic ad. Again, targeting people who are turning 65 like in a couple of months, and they're going to click on the ad and go to a landing page. The budget here by default is $20. I could put it up to $50. You got to think about your profit margins too. We're going to start on July 2nd. People who live in this location and they're in Florida, and they're 64 years old right now, men and women, and their birthday is in a couple of months. Okay, and you have the placements. We're going to show ads on Facebook and on Instagram. We're going to show it to people who are connected to a Wi-Fi. And we're using optimization delivery ad link clicks. Set bid cap $2. When you get charged, it's going to be on a CPC, cost per click. That's what it stands for, link click, cost per click. And I'm going to use this standard delivery type. Okay, that's our first audience. Next, what we're going to do in the next video, we're going to start creating the ads for these specific ad sets. Again, we're creating an audience first. Then we are going to show a highly relevant ad. Okay, I'm going to create a new audience. And then I will choose a different industry instead of Medicare. Okay, I just created a new campaign. It's called Wedding, and it's another traffic campaign. I'm going to give you the breakdown here really quick, and then I'm actually going to turn to one of my clients' Facebook ads campaigns and show you what it really looks like. Okay, so I am going to target engaged women between the ages of 22 and 30 years old, and I really do target people in Facebook using this. Now, this part is going to always be the same, or usually you're going to see it be the same. Daily budget, start date, end date, or let it run, and then everyone in this location, people who live in this location, and I'm going to put in the address. All right, so here is the address. Let's put this in here, and then you can see that it does defaults to an 8-mile radius. Okay, now the ads are only going to show within this area. We figure the golf course, they have banquet rooms that they rent when they do weddings and quinceañeras, baby showers and stuff like that, major birthday parties. Here we're going to target women who are 22 years old to 30 years old, and we're only going to target women because they're the ones that make the decisions. And now here's the power of Facebook. When people change their relationship status from in a relationship to engaged, we want to show ads to these people. So newly engaged women who are between the ages of 22 and 30 years old. That's who you want to show your ad to. You don't just want to put it on TV and everybody sees it. They're not getting married. The Facebook allows you to hone in on these people. Now, these people are going to be on Facebook and Instagram, of course. Audience network, maybe they'll be on a I don't know, example.com, and they'll see a Facebook ad. You could leave that there as well. Messenger, I'm not too big on this, but I forgot to mention here, for this particular campaign, there's 400 to 860 people. The ad, it's expected to reach that many women. Down here, it'll be the same thing. We could put this one. There's a lot more profit in here. We could even put this down to, I don't know, $3 a click. Impressions, we'll put that there. Leave that as standard, just like the other one. Okay, so let's recap on this really quick. We're targeting people that are going to get women who are 22 to 30 years old, and they're recently engaged. Why? Because they're going to get married. Every woman wants to have a ceremony and have a reception. Okay, the budget and schedule, self-explanatory. Okay, coming down here, you want to target people who live in this location. You don't want to target people who are traveling through this location or people who were recently in this location. You want to target people who live in this location. Why? Because that woman's going to probably have all her friends in this area. The mileage depends on where you're going to be living. If you live in a rural area, you're going to probably want to make this bigger. This area here in San Diego is very concentrated. The mileage is only 8 miles. I can make it out to 15 miles if I need to. 22 to 30 years old women, and they are newly engaged. Okay, and then down here on edit placements, these people, you can just leave them all checked off if you want. Link clicks, set a bid cap $250. Again, you could do this for $3. And people are gonna, these women are gonna probably see the ad first if we have it at $3 per click. Okay, that's another one. Let's do a different type of campaign. Okay, so I chose to create something called a Medicare lead generation. Lead generation is where you get a name, a first name, a phone number, and an email. And Medicare lead generation right here. And this is going to be pretty much the same process as the other one. And we are going to target, let's say, instead of Florida, we'll target, well, let's say Texas, turning 65, and then Texas. Leave that budget there. That's the same. Texas. If you want to meet with someone in your own county, I would recommend doing 2 campaigns. One for Texas, and let's say, I don't know, you're in San Antonio. You want it, the chances of you closing a deal if you meet in person in your own in the same city that you're in is really high. Create a campaign specifically targeting San Antonio, not just Texas. Make it San Antonio appear only, and then you could create a second campaign and target the rest of Texas and then exclude San Antonio. Okay, so we're going to target people who are 65 or turning 65, and I'm going to fill in the information to make this faster. Okay, so we're targeting people who are 64 years old right now, and they're going to have a birthday in September or October. The placements here, they're going to show them on Facebook, Instagram. This particular campaign, type of campaign, the lead generation campaign, just doesn't allow you to choose these. Coming down here, this is going to be a little different. Okay, so with the traffic campaign, compared to a traffic campaign, this one gives you different options. Here you could use the targeted cost per lead. So if you think a lead of first name, and phone number is worth $10, and email, of course, put $10 in here. If you start putting stuff like 50 cents, so I'm scared, I only want to pay 50 cents a lead, Facebook isn't going to show your stuff, man. So think about how much it costs you per lead when you do snail mail. It's way more than $10 a lead. All right, and then think about your profit margins. If you're selling a Medicare plan, you're making like what, $500, commission. Also, next year when you renew, it's like $250 residual income. So you can afford to put this at $20 if you want. So also, when do you get charged? Before it used to be when people would click the ad. This is just an impressions. So Facebook only gives you the option for impressions when it comes down to using a lead generation campaign, standard or accelerated. Okay. All right. So this is another ad set, and it's under a campaign Medicare lead generation. All right. I'm going to show you one of my clients. I'm going to go back to the wedding one so you can see that one. I have that one already built out. Okay, now I have this example for the Chula Vista Golf Course. I really do have this client, right? Right now, the only active one that I have is baby showers, but you can see weddings. Let's see here, weddings, traffic. Remember, again, traffic is the type of campaign. So what we're doing here is sending people from Facebook to a landing page. Okay, so sorry. And here we go, $25 a day. This is a 9-mile radius. I'm excluding Mexico because it kind of overlaps and I just don't want to show ads in Mexico. 25 to 35-year-olds, newly engaged women. Same kind of setup that I did before. Okay, here goes another one. I'm going to do baby showers. Okay. Now, again, this is a lead generation campaign. Chula Vista Golf Course. 10 miles out, doing baby showers. Now I'm targeting interest, baby showers, pregnancy, infant clothing. Okay. I am going to show you a messenger campaign. Messages. We're still targeting the same audience of baby showers, women who are pregnant. But instead of sending people from traffic from your Facebook ad to a landing page, or instead of doing a lead generation ad where it will submit their name, phone number, and email address, this is messages. It's targeting the same crowd as the other one. And then in the messages, and this is coming down to the ad, it will show a message. This would be like the message right here. The person clicks the Learn More button. Hi, user. Want to stop by and see the rooms? So this is in Facebook Messenger. Here's an ad that I did for a local butcher shop, a grocery store, video awareness. So this is a video views ad. This is, for many of you, you wouldn't use this because you're trying to get leads. This is more to raise awareness. And so this is what, to get people in the door, we were giving away free salsa. Here goes. And this ad did very well. So you can see that this framework here is just the same thing over and over again, how Facebook has the layout. So in this audience, we did a 5-mile radius from the location, from the grocery store. We excluded Mexico again because we're right by the border. And we wanted to target people who were over 40 and they're interested in barbecue. All right. We also had other ad sets targeting people who were over 40 and have kids that are a little older, because they're going to be buying a lot more than just the single guy who's 21 years old. One of the things that I want you to really spend time on is creating your target audiences. Get a piece of paper out and a pen, and then just start jotting down who are the people that are most likely to pay the most money for your services. I once had I was giving a speech over at the Chula Vista Chamber of Commerce, or National City Chamber of Commerce, to about 15 to 20 people, and there was a dentist there, and I asked her, who's your target audience? And typical response, oh, it could be anybody. Well, you know what? We're not Verizon, T-Mobile, or Time Warner. We can't just be using money out to everybody. So what I told her was, who are the people that pay you the most? Where do you make your most money? She goes, well, I'm not quite sure. How about you target women who just got engaged? And your ad is going to say, attention engaged women. You want every one of your pictures to come out with, and you have bright teeth, come in for a, teeth whitening or something. So you got to really think about your target audiences. You're going to do all that stuff in the ad sets. You're going to create your campaign first, and then you're going to create your audience in the ad sets. And then you're going to create an ad for each one of those target audiences. Let me show you another client. This is a real estate agent, all right, based in San Diego. I turned off all the ads yesterday because I knew 4th of July is here and they're not going to be getting any sales for all of my clients. And just save the money for the day after 4th of July or for next week. Okay, so I have a lot of campaigns for this guy. And you can see that they boost posts. They were doing their own Facebook ads, but then I stepped in and helped them out. So what we did was we were, instead of trying to say, hey, we're a real estate broker, we started throwing seminars and webinars, and this was for lead generation. So what we did was we threw a seminar and we targeted people who were 62 years and older. They were homeowners and in rich neighborhoods. Their kids are already grown up and out of the house. And we're doing a seminar on the benefits of downsizing. Okay, you can come up with many target audiences. Don't jump the gun. Spend a day or two, get out that legal pad and start writing down your target audiences. Your target audience won't always be, you won't always be able to target the person on Facebook or that audience on Facebook, but most likely you can. I would say maybe about 80% of the target audiences that I write on a piece of paper, I can hit on Facebook. Okay, I'm back in my demo account and I want to show you this area. right here. You need to study this, all right? You can target people based off of their behavior. Let's say you want to target people, I don't know, you sell vacation packages. You want to sell to people who are going to have an anniversary soon. Maybe not young people who are 21 years old and they're going to have an anniversary. People who are married and going to have an anniversary. You can target people based off of where they were born. You want to target people, I don't know, let's say from Mexico, who were born in Mexico, and now they are living in the United States. You can do that with Facebook. You can target people based off of their interests. I don't know, Kardashians. Let's see if Kardashians pop up here. Kim Kardashian. I don't know why someone would target, but hey, Facebook has all this information. You want to target people who, I don't know, like tennis? There you go. Their interest is on tennis. Maybe you want to target tennis players, and that's their job title. You could, you can target people based off of their job titles. Work, job titles, and you just type in CEO. If for those of you who are, targeting, I don't know, doing B2B sales or something like that. Let's say, what would be a landscaper, landscape gardener, technician, repair. I don't know. Sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't. For those of you that want to target small business owners, like B2B, you can target them based off of this. Look, people who list themselves as small business owners or small business pages on Facebook. There's all kinds of stuff you could think. You need to spend some time on here and figure out your target audience. It starts off with the pen and paper, and then you come over here and you start creating your campaigns and then your target and then your ad sets. Spend a couple days coming through here. You can actually see, multicultural. You want to target Hispanics? It's right here. You can target Hispanics. You cannot target Mexicans, but you can target Hispanics. You cannot target Filipinos specifically, but you can target Asian Americans. You cannot target black people. You can target African Americans. Okay. You cannot exclude these people, but you can show your ad specifically to a multicultural affinity here. Okay. If you want to exclude a certain people, let's say you don't want to talk to any or have anybody who, I don't know, Kardashian. How do you spell Kardashian? You can exclude people who like Kim Kardashian in your ads. I know that probably it's not that relevant to yours, but if you think of someone, you want these type of people, but you want to exclude people who are like vegans or something like that, this is where you would put it. You would hit the exclude. You put them in the exclude part. So now that you know a little bit more about creating audiences in Facebook under the ad set, it's now time to move over to creating the ad. All right. See you in the next video.